watching Aunties Unfiltered on the Carter Malone Network. I'm Deidre Malone.
And I'm Gail Jones Carson, and they've been cutting up before we started recording. I was being nice. They was talking mess over there. All right, T, who are you?
And I'm your girl, Tawana Stout Mitchell.
They trying to make us hold off to another show. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be that strong,
You know, I try really to manage the situation, but let me just say, y'all, it's so hard. You need to understand it's so hard.
Deidre might have to put some tape over my mouth.
Okay, we're going to start off because on our last show, we were so busy trying to get our points in about the primary.
About the election results.
Absolutely. We forgot to mention, and it was our bad. We forgot to mention one of the top of the ticket races, and that's the Shelby County Mayor's race. So we have Mikkel Lowry, who is the Democratic nominee for Shelby County Mayor, and for the Republican
and
area.
Let me just also mention before you go on to the Republican, it was an oversight. We discussed it several times, but I talked about how bad the campaigning was, and then Deidre over here looking at my notes, she immediately started going, okay, let's talk about the commissioners. So that's how we got off on the other races.
It was definitely an oversight.
That's
the reason we're going to talk about it now, right? Mm-hmm. And so, we all know Mikkel. We've known Mikkel a long time. An executive at FedEx, Shelby County Commissioner, former chair of the Shelby County Commission, really great candidate.
Say Lemoyne
on. He has served as a Lemoyne on board chair, right? Mm-hmm. Following in the footsteps of his dad, because his dad was over at Lemoyne as well and was the chair of the board at one point. So great candidate. It was a hard-fought race. He pulled it off, and he's been working. I've seen him last weekend. I was at 3 events. I saw him at 2. I'm
surprised you was at 3 events because you don't like to lead the office.
Not take anything for granted.
And you don't like to lead the office.
I don't.
She saw him at some 3 events.
And then you have, on the Republican side, you have John D. Berry. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows John was a long-term Democrat. Mm-hmm.
He was a state legislator.
State legislature forever, and now he's running on the Republican ticket. So,
I saw him on a show. Was it the Daily Memphians?
That they do on WKNO?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Behind the headlines.
We went to school together, so he's my age. So now,
he's your age.
He's my age, and I wonder why people don't say men are not too old, but women are too old.
They always say that about us.
Different standards for men and women.
Always.
I mean, we got somebody in the White House. He's 90 years old.
I think he's near 80.
Is he 90?
Well, if he's not 80, he's
80.
there.
Oh, okay.
He's there. But he would always talk about Joe Biden when he was in office. But back to the county mayor's race.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about the fact that it was a hard-fought race, and some of it I did not like because when you go
It's a mayor's race.
Mayor's race. When you go at each other so hard, and it's like personal character assassination, it's hard to heal some of those wounds. Yeah. And the party really needs to come together to get the nominee elected. And I hope, I'm sure they will. I'm
going to stop you right there, because I worked in the local Shelby County Democrat Party, hands on, rolled the sleeve up for years. Mm-hmm. I was the chair of the party, and so when you have these primaries and you have candidates hitting so hard at each other. So normally what we would do after the primary, we would come together, we would have a unity breakfast. And so some people wanted to criticize the current chair of the party because they were saying he's not I said, no, let me stop you. I said, I haven't talked to him personally, but I guarantee you he's working, but he's having difficulty because some people are not going to support folks. Them and their families are not going to support people if they feel they've been attacked so badly. So people have to think about that when you're running, when you're hitting somebody in the jaw and everywhere else. Are these people going to really come out and bring their family and their supporters to support you? Yeah. And now, Deidre, let me just tell you what happened with your situation. So when she ran for mayor, county mayor.
In 2010.
In 2010. No, was it 2010?
2010 and 14 and 20. We talk about 2010 first.
Okay, so anyway, Deidre came out as the nominee. And that was in 2014.
That was 14.
That was 14. So one of the people who was in the race, a county commissioner, who came out publicly saying, well, I'm going to support her. And he told one of the colleagues on the county commissioner, ain't no woman got no business in that position, which means I told her he ain't voting for you.
So
You were right.
So in 14, when I was the nominee, I have to give at least DA Steve Mulroy credit for coming on board and supporting my campaign. The other candidate, Dr. Kenneth Whalum, did not. In 2010, when I ran and Joe Ford became the Democratic nominee.
But you didn't attack anybody, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No, I just told the truth about his voting record. That's all.
Oh,
and that's
okay.
what you do when you're running in an election, right?
That's
That's
not
right.
a personal attack.
It's not
That's
a
not
personal
personal
attack.
attack.
And in 2010, when Joe became the Democratic nominee, I was right there. Remember?
Baby, I remember
I
because when you
went
was
to
going to the
churches,
churches with him, you worked hard.
and that's what you do.
And I was right there making sure that you ain't miss a step when nobody going to accuse you.
I think Kenneth Whalum was over there with Mark Luttrell, but I digress.
Is that what you believe?
I
But,
believe
but
that.
I want to bring up something because it was
Girl,
interesting.
you know you're a hot mess.
It was interesting to me that I think Mikhail Lowry gets a lot of credit for galvanizing ministers around his
Yes.
campaign. And I'm going to tell you why. Because K.T. Whalum made a statement on social media about the influence of ministers being lacking
Diminishing.
and diminishing in the community. And Dr. Christopher Davis came back with
Baby,
a
he hit him in the
scholarly
jaw.
He sure did.
response.
He sure
a
did.
scholarly response.
Yes.
And I
Noah
think that
Hutchinson too.
and I think that response triggered something in the African American ministers, and they galvanized to get their congregations out
Yes.
to the polls.
Yes.
And that is what it's going to take, not only in August, but in November. And I think that helped him a lot.
I think it
so,
did
but
too.
I why are you talking about the ministers? And they did galvanize, and all the communications and what I'm seeing right now, they are galvanizing on a large scale, larger than I've seen in a long time. They're having meetings, they're having postcard signings, they're having rallies. The ministers are galvanizing. They are engaging the people they touch and influence.
Miguel, what I want to remind Mikhail's campaign of is this. John D. Berry is a minister. A lot of black people are very conservative. So you cannot take this race for granted.
And G,
In a general, you can vote for anybody.
And nobody
So
knows if you vote Democrat
they
or
don't.
Republican.
So I mean,
Republican.
I'm just saying to our Democratic nominee, you know, we're with you all the way, but you got to fight for every vote. Can't take anything for granted.
And that's what, okay, so generally in Shelby County, there are more Democrats, number-wise, than Republicans. But it's not even about that. It's about turnout.
It is.
And it's also about people need to look at, if you got a certain percentage of the voters, look at the percentage of people who didn't vote for you. How are you going to get them to come out and vote for you?
Right.
You need to be reaching out and touching all these people who ran against you, those who are willing to come and see if they can't come and bring their family and friends. And so I do believe, because Democrats are looking at the number difference, they're going to take the Republicans for granted. But the minority leader, Sexton, said 8 years ago and 4 years ago, because we had the blue wave 8 years ago. He said, we coming back to turn Shelby County blue. And I don't think he's been playing. And I think for 8 years,
No, they not
for
playing
8
at
years,
all.
they've been working. As black folks and Democrats been sleeping, they working. And you see all the stuff going on in Shelby County with the 9th Congressional District. They have divided it up in 3, okay? Which makes it harder for African Americans and Democrats to have much influence. But in this August election, they turn it out for these congressional races. The Republicans will. So y'all Democrats, sit back and think you're going to win just because of numbers. They have a reason to come out in August. Their numbers are going to increase significantly. So don't assume that because you got you're a Democrat and we've been having the numbers these last 8 years that things are going to be. It ain't easy. Don't you sleep if you want to. Sleep if you want to.
I saw a report on MS Now about Jasmine Crockett's race, and they were talking about the reason she lost, and they were talking about how the young man she ran against, he worked those rural areas and pulled out votes in those rural areas that normally wouldn't come out. But in the African American district, there were about 1 million people who didn't even show up.
So let me I'm glad you brought that up about the rural district. So when I was a chairman of the party, I think this is when, what's the guy's name? He ended up losing his seat because of some crazy stuff. But anyway, so some of the candidates, I was over the coordinated campaign. I was managing all these nominees, and so people kept calling me, "Well, so and so he not working. He not because they had to be working. He not working." I said, just because you don't see him working does not mean he's not campaigning. Because what he was doing. He was going out in the county, Germantown, Collierville. He was working out there, whereas a number of the other Democrats, they just stayed in the city. And you know what? He was the only Democrat that won.
So do you think
you cannot take people in the rural areas for granted? You can't assume that they won't vote for you because he worked out there and he was the only one who won.
But to your point though, T, the folks that didn't vote in the urban core, those voters wonder why they decided not to vote in that race, so come out and vote in that race.
So what year was that? You're talking about
that was this recently. It was just in
I don't know,
Talaferro.
because they had an excellent candidate.
They had an excellent candidate.
And
Actually, two excellent candidates because he's pretty sharp himself.
And
they had an excellent candidate, but it was some. I don't know what the organizational structure was, and that's why I said it's hard to run in primaries because you got to have your money right.
Yeah.
You got to have your organization right. You got to have your field game right.
Right.
You got to have your phone contact right.
Banking right.
Phone banking right. Everything has to be in order.
Right.
And when it's not, it's going to show up in your numbers.
That's true.
You just listed all of these things you need in the primary. So if you win, you got to start all over again. You got to start all over raising money again. So that's why you need all of these people to be with you. You can't be expecting people to reach out to you. You need them. You must reach out to them and bring them on board. And I know that the Democratic Party chair is doing that. And I don't have to say that about the Republicans because one thing I can say about them, they working together. Even if they don't agree or whatever, when they come out that room, they're going to be together. Democrats still going to be fighting when they come out.
I think the sheriff going to have a tough race.
I think it might be tough.
It's not going to be like Bonner.
But we're going to win it. I believe we're going to win it.
It's not going to be like Bonner. Bonner didn't have opposition on the Republican side. So this young man now.
Anthony Buckner.
Buckner
the
has
Democratic nominee.
Republican opposition.
What's his name? Last name is Les, I think.
Les. His name is Les.
Brad Les.
So I saw a letter that came from Republicans that said, Buckner is not a Republican. We have a Republican running, and this is who we're going to support. So Republicans, unlike Democrats, and we kind of changing. They're grassroots people. They ain't listening to nobody telling them how to vote. If it's an hour on the ballot, that's where they're going to vote. They are very disciplined about their party.
And for the sheriff department to be right here in Shelby County, and a lot of sheriff deputies are African American.
But they need to vote.
But they endorse Marsha Blackburn.
I don't know what that was about. I don't know what that was about, y'all.
The sheriff's deputies.
Do they get grant dollars from the state or the federal government?
Sheriff Association endorsed.
Which the Sheriff Association is different from the administration.
Okay, so we're going to do a whole show on that next time.
Okay.
We got 3 other topics we want to hit real quick.
Right.
How many candidates are running for 2 offices at the same time? And then let me just say, these judicial candidates, they're making the rounds. Everywhere I go, I see them.
And I talked to a few of them. I said, look, y'all not on the ballot until August. I said, you all are now on some folks' ballots.
Judicial candidates?
Judicial candidates. They're not on the ballot until August 2026, but they was running like they were going to be on the May ballot when it was already.
But people don't know them, though, Gail. They got to get out there so people can know them.
Well, I understand it, but it was confusing.
It was confusing.
I told a couple, I said, you know they going in the polls, they're going to be looking for your name. And so she said, we just going to have to remind them again. I understand it because, one thing I do know for a fact, the judicial races they have the highest drop off of any race.
Yeah.
They have the highest drop off. And then in 2 years, 40 judicial races will be on the ballot. And you will have, that's generally one of the longest ballots you'll have with all the other races. And people don't go all the way down to the judges. Now, people in the legal community, people tied to them, they're going to go down to that. So, and I tell some of these people, too, some of these judges, they need to be reminded how they need to treat people, because I can give you a list of judges who ain't judges no more. One person went to college with me. She talked crazy to the attorneys in public. And one guy ran against her, ended up being 2. She I can give you a list of folks who, because in the past, incumbents won. Incumbents don't always win today.
That's true.
And people need to treat people decently.
I want to mention, too, that judges run nonpartisan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they have the opportunity to try to get votes from Democrats and Republicans. They should. Well, everybody should, but they really should, because justice is supposed to be blind.
Well, it is not today. It ain't today.
It's supposed to be.
It's
supposed to be. Okay, so we have time to talk about these judicial candidates at an upcoming show.
Okay.
How many of these candidates are running for 2 offices at the same time?
Well, we know at least 3.
Okay. Who are they?
So, for example, State Representative Joe Towns, he is running for his seat as state representative. And then he also ran for the clerk seat that he just won, but now he has to run against a Republican for
Is that the
seat
criminal
in August. So
criminal court clerk? Criminal
So
court
he's
clerk.
going to be in August on the ballot twice.
Okay.
And I try to tell these folks, they don't listen to people. Now, it's very difficult. When you have your name on the ballot twice, people ain't going in there looking for your name 2 times. If they see your name 1 time, they, they unless the people close to you and you making sure. But I can give you an example, and I'm almost certain about this. This was Minerva Jernigan years ago. She had her name on the ballot twice. She was running for the county commission and the state Tennessee Democratic Executive Committee. Her name was on the ballot twice. She lost both seats.
And you know who else has done that? It was John Ford, and then remember Roscoe Dixon did it. He was running for Senate.
And John lost. John started one of them clerk seats, and a lot of people don't remember that.
But he kept his Senate seat.
He kept his Senate seat.
I think it's going to be. Who
are the other 2 people?
I like to give them advice to some of those state representatives running too.
I know Justin J. Pearson,
Justin,
and I think London Lamar.
Yeah,
both
I think both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're running for their seats that they already have, and they're running for new seats.
Right.
And and I'm gonna tell you. So first of all, the difficulty of people knowing to go vote for you 2 times, and then also some people will not like you doing that. Okay.
Well,
and I'm gonna tell you who else did it. Ariel.
Yeah.
Ariel ran for a clerk seat, and now she's running.
Yeah.
But her name won't be on the ballot 2 times in August. It will be
but
on there
let me
1
say
time in
this.
August.
I want to give them advice to do an education campaign around look for me twice.
That's smart.
Now, look for me twice.
Yeah.
Because hopefully they're not planning to serve in 2 seats.
Well, and they all have opposition in both positions. They have opposition.
Yeah.
But they should say, I think they should say, I'm not planning to serve in both positions.
Yeah.
But I really want a new position. But in case we can't get that, I'm going to continue serving you and giving you the best service I can.
So y'all better listen to T. She giving y'all some advice
Education
and free advice. At that.
Education campaigns. Okay, this is good.
Say that.
Education campaigns.
Free.
Free.
T had to let somebody know on social
sure
media
did.
this morning all the work that she done out here in this community. People
Well,
talking about she don't do
about
nothing
she
but
just
talk.
talking.
Baby, we roll up our sleeves. We work. We don't just talk.
Right.
We got receipts, as the young people say.
So do it. And
Receipts. Why they call us aunties?
I want to see your playlist. That's what I told you.
You told her
Right.
T was
Yeah.
real
I know
nice.
my playlist.
And let me just say
T was
this.
real nice. She didn't go to one Murphy order.
Wait a minute.
No, I ain't
Wait a
close out.
minute.
You ain't go to
But
one
let me
order.
just say this, young lady. I'm not going to say your name, but she got something for you. You come after her one more time, and she got something for you.
You talking about you?
No. T got the ammunition, so you better be careful.
And I'm going to be
warning
nice
you.
with it, but I'm going to let
people
you
on
have
the
it.
show.
I'm just warning her.
Lord have
warning her.
mercy.
Like I'm a warm Dr. Whalum. I don't have any clients that you can talk about me about. So you come at me one more time, I got something for you.
All right. So do I
Now,
need
we told y'all the first show how Deidre is.
This the gangster Scorpio.
We told you she's successful.
Come after me one more time. I got something for you.
This the gangster Scorpio, y'all.
Wait a minute,
I got something for you, Dr. Whalum. One more time.
Stop that.
Okay.
Stop that.
She don't have this
We told you she's successful.
No, I'm not.
You're not.
Listen,
Okay.
she's succession strong. She got sons that'll come right out.
Exactly. All right. Okay. Let's just talk
Lord
about.
have mercy.
Let's
Let me
talk
go
about.
under the
Let's
table.
talk about.
When I
No.
used to- T, when I used to
I
talk
let
crap-
people come after me,
T.
and I don't respond, especially when I'm working for a client. When I don't have a client,
Now, Twan,
Come at me.
Now I'm gonna bless you. I started my statement when that young lady said that. I said, "You blessed today because I got time."
Well,
I got time today.
So, Twan, I just want to understand. So, when I used to act crazy and talk, I wouldn't, because I don't wake up bothering people, and I would get folks straight in meetings and stuff. Deidre and Twan, Deidre and Norma, Melissa, all them they run up under the table. They hide all up under the table. But here she come on the show. She letting folks know I'm coming.
I'm coming, absolutely, and I don't play when I come.
Like sitting the children right
exactly. I don't play when I come. So
let's talk about.
Let's talk about.
What's
There's in national news what hit this week, and it's unfortunate. You've got another candidate that's out there sexting people.
What's he doing?
He's married.
Campaign, or is that an old sexting?
It's kind of old.
It doesn't matter.
But I get position, right?
He's running for the U.S. Senate right now, and he's the presumptive Democratic nominee because the governor of Maine, Janet Mills, decided to suspend her campaign because he was getting all this traction,
she gonna
right?
unsuspend it now.
Well, she's still on the ballot, and she's letting people know she's still on the ballot. But my point is, when you're in a campaign, aren't you vetted? Don't like his wife did tell a campaign staffer that this had happened, right? So what happens? Don't you know when you're running for office, this kind of stuff comes up?
My daughter Catherine said to me, it would be a great state law or national law for all candidates to have to sign an affidavit. Have they been involved in sexual harassment or abuse?
Well, when Kat said that, I said that's not going to happen because it would take men to vote that into law, and it is the men who are.
But they should be on record.
They're not going to do. They're not going to do it.
They should be on record.
So men
saying that they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it.
They should be on record. Said that they will not. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't like men behaving badly.
But women
and I don't like women behaving
exactly.
badly
Yeah,
either.
We did have one.
Yeah, we have had some women.
I ain't gonna call her out, but anyway,
and we've had some black women too.
Yeah,
what black women.
We ain't gonna talk about it, but
was
it's
it
happening.
the judge?
We ain't gonna talk about it, but yes.
Honey.
So women and men have this problem.
I remember somebody in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. I also remember the lady who was the first U.S. senator, black female U.S. senator. She got caught up in a relationship with a staffer. And what I don't understand is if you're gonna have these relationships, why they got to be in the workplace?
And that's for everything.
Right.
Everything. Well, I'm gonna tell you about a conversation I had with a close friend of mine this morning, D. Harris. So D out here talking
his name
because I told him, I said, first of all, he's talking about how attempting and all attempting and how hard. I said, D, what you're saying to me is you're weak.
That's what it says to me.
You're weak. You can't control yourself. You're willing to take a risk with sex, and you're gonna lose your family. You're gonna lose your job. You're gonna lose your integrity. You're gonna lose everything for some sex.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Because these people who get in trouble is tied to sex and or money.
And I always tell
That's
men
true.
who get caught
That's
up
true.
To remember that only the brain is only in one head. That's
I don't know. It's strong. It's strong.
That's a
It's
muscle.
strong. That's all I can say.
I'm just saying,
And
look.
you need to lead with the brain.
You do.
And then lead with the heart.
So
They say it's two brains.
Graham Plattner.
That's a muscle. That's a muscle.
It's not a brain.
Graham Plattner
But they leading with that muscle.
is the guy's name. And remember in April when we had our first show, we talked about former Congressman Eric Swalwell. He had to suspend his campaign for governor, right?
Look, girl, I was
Tony
watching him on
Gonzalez.
TV that morning, denying everything. A few hours later, he was saying, "I'm not running."
Right. Tony
because he
Gonzalez,
may
the
even get
Texas
indicted.
Republican, he didn't resign because he had an affair. They resigned like the same day. Y'all remember that?
I remember it was
Y'all remember
it was crazy. It
Matt-
was crazy. Well, why these people ain't learning from these experiences? They continue to happen.
Well, but my thing is, with these campaigns, like this candidate, Graham Plattner.
And we care. We're not like another party with 20 felonies and
like
and
our
sexual
president of the
harassment.
United States, and look, I'm looking at the Republicans:
We care
Matt
about
Gaetz,
that.
Corey Mills, Representative Edwards. All of these are Republicans that are in Congress that are under investigation right now.
Well,
So,
but
for sexual harassment.
But they're the ones who are very supposed
Or,
to hard on
soliciting
crime.
a prostitute.
But they also remember they supposed to be hard on crime. They supposed to be the
family
most
values.
family values. I'm just saying.
That's all I'm saying too. So my thing is, if you're in a campaign, you've got to do your opposition research, but you need to know what's in your background too and what might come out.
And what I tell people, if you live in a glass house, please, I dare you, don't throw no rocks if you live in a glass house, because when you throw that rock, a rock coming.
Exactly.
A rock coming.
Exactly.
It's just wrong. And how can you lead in a community on honesty and values? And
that went out the door some years ago.
When you are hiding behind a curtain, harassing women,
and that can
it's
easily
no
be
excuse for it.
It can be pulled back.
Yeah,
it can be pulled
It's
back.
no excuse for it. And I don't make any apologies for it. If you get involved in something like that, you are just involved and need to step aside and let it
Well,
move
and
on.
then you have so many people who turn their heads to it. I am very tired right now. I am very tired about folks wanting people to be quiet when it comes to injustices. Like, I'm in a few organizations because I speak up, and I ain't perfect, but I try to do right. But because I speak up, they want me to shut up. And these black folks, I don't see them no different as the white folks who want black folks quiet. These middle-income black folks, because that's mostly who they are, they want black people to shut up because they don't want to be embarrassed. And those are some of the same people, their parents and grandparents had problems with the Martin Luther Kings of the world. But those people who wanted him to be quiet, who was embarrassing him, they have reaped the benefits of the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X and all these other leaders. They have reaped the benefits of their beatdown, their murders, their hangings, their hit with the fire hose and stuff. But they want you to be quiet while they reap the benefits.
But why? Why would they be embarrassed? It's not them. It's you speaking. Why would they be embarrassed?
Well, because
they don't want you to make noise, and they have sometimes been sent out
to try and stop you
to stop a movement. They have sometimes been sent out to stop a movement.
I'm just going to tell you,
and then they benefit from stopping it.
Yeah,
some of them get 15 pieces of silver and $15,000 pieces of silver to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm tired of it. I drive around with red handkerchiefs in my car for people like that.
I think they're mowing the lawn outside, so maybe that's the noise. Okay.
Did they not get the red handkerchief part?
No,
I got it.
I got the red handkerchief part. And some of them wear it on their heads all the time.
But the truth is, they are generally the ones who get the best appointments, the best seats in the house, the best jobs, the best opportunities.
But I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna always
in an
be
area.
Yeah,
and you can look everywhere and see them, but they'll say, "Don't do it like that." Well, see, I'm one who believes.
Or your tone.
Yeah, your tone.
It's about how you say it.
And I'm one who believes we need agitators.
Yeah.
And we need people at the table.
We do.
And we need
people at the table.
Negotiators. We need both.
We do.
Well, it's the ones that's out on the streets to hit them to get the attention. And once the attention is got, then you can sit at the table and negotiate.
Gail, this wasn't on the outline to one, but I think we'd be remiss. We've got like 3 minutes left on the show.
We got some more time.
We got 3 minutes.
Okay.
And I think it's important for us to mention that the state government has put in place the advisory board for the school system, right?
I told her we didn't have it on the list.
So we've got 3 minutes. Let's talk about. There's Beverly Robertson, there's Tyrone Burrows, it's Nisha Powers, it's Miss McKinney, Dedrick Britnam, it's Dorsey Hobson.
Who was the first five for the governor, if you do it like that?
Okay, so
McKinney, Powers, Beverly, and who was the fifth one?
Tyrone Burrows.
That's the governors.
I can tell you, most of them have Republican connections. And
they may have Republican connections, but I'm going to tell you, I looked up their voting record.
Who's the speaker's people?
Dedrick Britnam and Billy Ogle.
Okay, and who else do we have?
And the other one is
and
the
I'm
person
friends with Billy Ogle, but Billy Ogle was really a part of that of the Board of Education buying the Bayer building.
And how much did they buy the building
and they've
for?
had that as a part of the report and said it was a bad deal. And then they brought him back on. And so I really believe Mr. Ogle is there for the business community and look at the contract Now, and then I think Nisha Powers used to get contracts. She's an engineer, and I don't know if she getting
And
contracts.
she's not African American. People think it was
Indian.
fine. She's not African American.
But she used to get contracts from Memphis City Schools. I don't know if she's getting them now, but she won't be able to do that and
Right.
be a board member.
Are you
And
sure?
No, you can't do that. That's
Okay.
Because they're paying them too.
Oh, okay.
And then you have Tyrone Burroughs, who has a real close connection with one of my colleagues, old colleagues, Jack Salmons, who's a Republican. And then you have Dedrick Bridman, who was once my colleague too,
On the city council.
And he votes 100% Democrat.
And he really does.
I looked up them voter records.
And
baby.
then it was
Beverly?
Beverly Robinson, who's a
Beverly's a
known
Democrat.
commodity here
Hobson
in
is a
Memphis.
Democrat.
And she can be outspoken, but she is going to be savvy with it.
Yeah.
Beverly.
And there's a real strong, I
Wait a
can
minute,
say this,
we
Blue Cross
forgot
Blue
one
Shield is
person.
my client.
Did we
Who?
forget one person?
So, but Cigna has a major connection on this advisory board. Blue Cross is my client.
Well,
Cigna has a major
and they
connection
do.
with Dorsey and Miss McKinney.
And Miss McKinney, because she,
So
if I can
Cigna
recall,
had the school board contract. Okay.
and if I can recall, when Dorsey Hobson left, he left to go work
for Cigna.
for Cigna. And this young lady was involved with Cigna. So if you connect some dots, there's some interesting dots.
Right.
But I don't want to cast an aspersion on what they will do, but we will be watching.
We'll be watching.
Well, let me say, so one thing. We did not say who the 8th person is. They haven't appointed the 9th. The 8th person is someone outside of Shelby County. And he's going to be one heading up the group, from my understanding.
I thought Dr. David Rudd, even though he's not announced, but everything I've heard was that he's going to chair it.
Well, I thought they said this man from this
No,
other...
he's just an appointee.
Yeah, I think the
But
SCORE
anyway,
man,
he's the person from
Yeah.
outside
the man from
Shelby
SCORE
County.
is really going to focus on academics
Okay, so he's
and
the
how you measure achievement.
Yeah.
And so who is Dr. Rudd?
The former president of the University of Memphis.
Oh, that's Dr.
I
Rudd.
like Dr.
Yeah,
Rudd.
that's
I
what
like
I'm
Dr.
hearing.
Rudd. I like.
Might not be true, but that's what I'm hearing.
There are a couple people on there that I like, but
Well, so let me just make it real clear to everybody. So in the document, it says that these people on this oversight committee, they can be let go at any time for any reason. So does that mean if they step out of line,
That's right.
are they going to be gone?
That's right.
That's what it says, but
you
yeah.
let them get too much negative press. Yeah, they'll be gone.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how they handle the budget process. I'm interested in seeing how they handle the real estate, because for me, it's really all about the real estate. And that's the reason they're doing this. And I know we've got to wrap it up, ladies. Any final thoughts as we wrap up this
wish them well, 'cause
June
I
show?
want the school system to succeed, but I really hope they won't come in and disrupt or start anything with Superintendent Richmond.
I
Because I
agree.
think he is really trying to turn
Well,
things
he's
around.
got 30-some years of service, which has been some excellent stuff that he has done. And, if they just want to bring somebody, a yes person in, that's not going to do well for the school system.
No, it's not.
Okay, and so final thoughts, Kel? That's your final thought?
Pretty much. I just hope that good decisions, the best decisions are made for the system. People keep talking about the children when this really, if you look at all the stuff that's been going on, it has nothing to do with the children.
Okay.
That's my personal belief.
All right.
And mine is, I want people to remember, it's not just teaching that makes a school system and the children successful. It's teachers, community, parents, and a student who comes ready to learn, and a board who is an advocate for public education.
That's right.
All right, so
Spoken like a true former school
Let's end with our
board
self.
commissioner. Absolutely, and chair. Y'all, thank you for watching Aunties Unfiltered. This is our June edition, and look forward to seeing us again. If not, if something hot pops off, you might see us again in June. If not, you'll
People
see us the
been
first
asking
weekend
when it's coming
in
on.
July.
We decided once a month. didn't we?
Once a month.
I don't know if it's hot. No, we'll be on here
If it's
more than
hot,
once a month.
we
If it's
might be
hot,
on more than once a month. But thank you for watching, and thanks for watching the Carter Malone Network.
And thank y'all for calling Deidre about being sponsors. We need
Yes,
sponsors.
call us. We need sponsors. And we'd love to have you sponsor this show. And if you sponsor this show, we might be on more than once a month, right? All right. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Aunties Unfiltered, y'all. Respect the legacy.